They're all players. Then there is Cristiano Ronaldo, not just a footballer, a symbol, a machine, a relentless force of nature, born in poverty, raised in silence, forged in fire. He was not supposed to make it. In a world that worships talents, he chose obsession. While others slept, he trained. While others doubted, he dreamed. They called him arrogant, selfish. But what they never saw was the boy behind the beast. The one who cried alone in a dorm room, or ran until he puked. The one who carried a nation on his back, and still wasn't satisfied. This is not just the story of a legend. It's the story of how Cristiano Ronaldo became inevitable. This is the rise of a king. Cristiano Ronaldo, born on a small island called Madeira in Portugal, a place where dreams are less likely to come through than anywhere else in the world. In the poor neighborhood of Santo Antonio, there was a family struggling with poverty. His father, a simple gardener at the local football field, and his mother working in the people's homes to make ends meet. From the very beginning, Ronaldo knew the path ahead wouldn't be easy. But there was something different about him, an unrelenting thirst for success. He did not let go of his plastic bulb from the moment he opened his eyes in the morning until nightfall. On the dusty streets, his feet would get bruised, but the game never stopped. His classmates would mock him for his Madeira accent. Teachers would tell him he had no future. But Ronaldo had just one thing on his mind. One day, the whole world would know my name. This poor child was planting the seed for something that years later the world would call the greatest of all time, the GOAT. He was 12 years old. While most kids still didn't know how to take care of themselves, Ronaldo packed his bag and said goodbye to his family, friends, and the island. Destination? Sporting Academy in Lisbon. A shy boy in a busy city. Far from his family, far from the warmth of home, and far from everything that made him feel safe. There wasn't a day he didn't cry. Every night he went to sleep with tears in his eyes. Sometimes he'd pick up the phone just to hear his mom's voice. But it was then that he decided to become stronger. Even at his sporting, things didn't come easy. The other kids still mocked him, this time not just for his accent, but for his thin body and his different look. But Ronaldo learned how to turn his tears into motivation, his loneliness into focus, and the mockery into fire. Every practice was a battle for him, every game a chance to survive. Soon enough, the coaches noticed something in Ronaldo. An unusual speed, a hunger to improve, and an endless energy that made him stay on the field after practice, working with the ball. He did not want to be good, he wanted to be the best. The teenager who once cried himself to sleep was now making others lose theirs. At Sporting, Ronaldo became a phenomenon. His speed, like lightning. His ball control, incredible. And his confidence, unstoppable. The coaches slowly started to realize that this boy was no ordinary player. He was different. But the moment that changed everything came in 2003, a friendly match between Sporting and Manchester United. From the very moment he stepped onto the field, everything stopped. United's defenders could not stop him. The spectators couldn't blink. And Sir Alex Ferguson, he did not finish the game with just a player. He finished it with a decision. Ronaldo had to come to Manchester. After the game, the United players told Ferguson, "Boss, we have got to sign this guy." And just a few days later, Cristiano Ronaldo, the same poor kid from Madeira, became the first Portuguese player in Manchester United's history, joining the club for a €12 million transfer fee. This was just the beginning. Now, everything was much more serious. The Premier League left no room for mistakes. Ronaldo, who had entered as a phenomenon, now had to prove himself. But his start wasn't easy. Some loved his dribbling. Others thought he was too showy. The media was ruthless. Critics said he is just about technique, not a team player. Full of showmanship. But behind all these words, there was someone who believed in him, Sir Alex Ferguson. He knew building a legend took time, and Ronaldo, as always, preferred to answer with his performance, not with words. He worked hard, harder than anyone else. He came in early and left late. And gradually, the magic we saw at Sporting started to show itself on the Old Trafford pitch as well. Season by season, Cristiano was becoming what football had long been searching for. Not just a star, but a beast. His goals kept increasing, his dribbles more lethal, and his confidence, it screamed with every move, "I'm here to make history." In 2006, after a controversial World Cup, many thought the fans would turn on him, but he came back, stronger than ever. He became the beating heart of Ferguson's team. 2007-2008, the golden season, 42 goals, the European Golden Shoe, and the Ballon d'Or. That skinny Portuguese kid was now the best player in the world. With thunderbolt shots, basketball-like jumps, and a mindset that never settled. This was not just Ronaldo anymore. This was Cristiano Ronaldo. Summer of 2009, the world stopped. For a moment, every newspaper headline had just one sentence. Cristiano Ronaldo joins Real Madrid. 94 million euro? Back then, at the mad, some said Real made a mistake. But Florentino press knew exactly what he was doing. At his unwilling, 80,000 fans packed the Bernabeu just to see one man, not just a player, a phenomenon. The fans had expectations, and Ronaldo was ready. But the pressure, it was massive. In his debut, he wore the number 9, because the number 7 still belonged to Raul. But from the very beginning, he showed that he did not need a number to shine. His name was already a brand. Now, all eyes were on him. Everyone was waiting to see, could he become the same beast in La Liga that he was at United? And this was just the beginning of the most legendary chapter of his life. From the start of the season, one thing became very clear. La Liga was no longer just a league. It was a battlefield. Ronaldo versus Messi. Galactico versus genius. The Portuguese man, with goal after goal, with explosions in every match, was here to make history. But on the other side, Messi was doing things that didn't even seem real. Goals, assists, dribbles. Barcelona was ruthless. Every El Clasico became a final. And the pressure on Ronaldo's shoulders, Imagine this. The expectations of the giant club and constant comparisons to Barcelona's golden boy. But Ronaldo, with every goal, every sprint, every clenched fist, he showed the world, I'm here to fight. All the way. A man who came not just to succeed, but to become immortal. Ronaldo was becoming more than just a superstar. He was now the heartbeat of Real Madrid. In the Champions League, where only the best survive, Ronaldo was the final boss. Those European nights, when everything rested on one man's shoulders, Ronaldo rose to the occasion. 2014, La Decima. Madrid finally claimed their 10th title. And Ronaldo? He shattered records with 17 goals in a single campaign. Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or, goal after goal. The critics went silent, and the message to the world was clear. No one has fought harder than me to be here. Maybe on the pitch, Messi was his rival, but in the biggest moments, Ronaldo was winning the war. He became the man for the special nights, the man who showed up when everyone else disappeared. (2016, 2017, 2018). 3 years, 3 titles, 3 coronations. No team in modern history had ever done it. But with Ronaldo, Real Madrid became something beyond historic. He was not just scoring goals, he was breaking opponents' spirits. In finals, in the moments of pressure, when the ground shook beneath their feet, only one man stayed calm: Cristiano. Against Juventus, that unbelievable bicycle kick, it goes so good. Even rival fans stood and applauded. It was not just a goal, it was a statement. Ronaldo was saying, I'm still here, still hungry, still the best. And when the third straight title came, the world had no choice but to surrender. Ronaldo was no longer just a footballer, he was a symbol of power, obsession, and an unrelenting will to win. No one saw it coming. After 9 years, 450 goals, and becoming the greatest legend in Real Madrid's history, Cristiano left. Not with a fight, not in defeat, but in glory. Some said he was finished, some said he couldn't stay at the top anymore, but Ronaldo never listened to people. He only listened to one thing, his own ambition. Juventus, a new challenge, a new league, and a mission. Conquer Italy, and once again, Europe. Some believed Real Madrid made Ronaldo, but he came to prove one thing. He was the author of his own legend. Ronaldo entered a new country, a new culture, and a league built on defense. But one thing never changed. He became king again. From his very first game for Juventus, it was clear he came to conquer once more. The goals start flowing. Leadership, motivation, ambition, everything Juve needed to reach the next level. And then, that magical night in Turin, a historic hat-trick against Atletico Madrid. When everyone thought Juventus was finished, Ronaldo stepped up and with a legendary performance reminded the world that in the Champions League, there is still one king, Cristiano Ronaldo. To many, these are the tales of a legend, but to Ronaldo, it's just another chapter in an endless history. Cristiano Ronaldo, the man who never stops.